let's take a look at complementary and supplementary angles. So, important definitions to know. An angle is a figure formed by two rays with a common vertex, right? So we have a vertex, we have a ray going in one direction, a ray going in another direction, and that forms an angle. So the vertex is that point of intersection right there between the two sides. And then complementary angles are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees versus supplementary is 180 degrees. If you get the two mixed up, I always remember C comes before S in the alphabet, 90 comes before 180 when you are counting, okay? And then here's a picture example. So complementary, because they add to 90, form that 90-degree angle, and supplementary are 180, that forms a straight line when they are next to each other. So some way we can do it is just being given a measure and finding the complement or the supplement. So here we're finding the complement. So 90 minus 12 is 78 degrees. Here, 90 minus 46 is 44 degrees. 90 minus 58 is 32 degrees. 90 minus 77 is 13 degrees. Find the supplement of the following angles. So here we're looking at 180 degrees. 180 minus 155 is 25 degrees. 180 minus 85 is 95 degrees. 180 minus 11 is 169 degrees. And 180 minus 122 is 58 degrees. So applying it to actual angle pictures. First, I want you to determine, is it a complementary or supplementary angle? And then we can find the value. So here we see the right angle, which means it's 90 degrees, so it's a complementary angle. So I know I'm doing 90 minus 21 to figure out the value of x, which is 69 degrees. Number two, the type of angle. It is a straight line. So that is a supplementary angle. So to find the value of x, we're doing 180 minus 164, which equals 16 degrees. And number three, the type of angle. Well, we've got some different things mixed in here. We do have a straight line. I'm trying to find the measure of DAC, which is D to A to C, this middle one. We could think about it as supplementary and do all of these, or I can think if this half is 90 degrees, that means this half is 90 degrees, so they are complementary. So 90 minus 57 would tell me that this angle DAC is 33 degrees. Let's add in some algebra problems here. So still gonna figure out what type of angle we're talking about. We see our 90-degree symbol here, so they are complementary. We're gonna find the value of x. Well, let's figure out the equation here. I know we have the angle 2x plus our other angle of 40, and that's equally 90 degrees because they're complementary. Now I'm going to solve that equation. So I'm subtracting 40 from each side. I get 2x is equal to 50. Divide by 2. I get x is equal to 25. Number 5, the type of angle. It forms a straight line, so it is supplementary. Setting up an equation to solve, well, we have our first angle, which is 6x, plus our second angle, which is 60, should equal 180 degrees. Now we can solve this. Subtract 60 from both sides. I get 6x is equal to 120. X is being multiplied by 6, so divide each side by 6, and we get x is equal to 20. Number 6. We have this kind of extra line here because it's going through, and that sometimes confuses people. But if you look at this and you kind of block that out, we just have a straight line. So these two together are on this straight line here, which means they are supplementary. So finding the value of x, well, we have our first angle of 35 degrees plus our other 12x plus 1 is going to equal 180 degrees. Now, when we are solving, first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to combine these constants on the same side. So 35 plus 1 is 36 plus 12x is equal to 180. Now we have a two-step equation. I'm going to get rid of the 36 on both sides. I'm left with 12x is equal to 144. Divide each side by 12, and I get that x is equal to 12. Number 4, the type of angle. Again, we have these extra lines that sometimes mess people up, but if I block that out, all that is left is this angle that is 90 degrees. That's all that we need for those two. We see that 90-degree symbol. So I'm going to say they are complementary. So I didn't put a line for you to write the equation here, but we're going to set it up. So I'm doing 6x plus 4 plus our other angle, which is 4x plus 6, is equal to 90. I'm going to simplify here. We've got 6x and 4x, which makes 10x. We have 4 and 6, which makes 10, is equal to 90. Now we're back at a normal two-step equation. Subtract 10 from both sides. I get 10x is equal to 80. Divide by 10 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 8. Number 5, we have a straight line here. So they are supplementary. So we've got 2x plus 3 plus x minus 6 is equal to 180 degrees. Let's simplify before we solve. We have 2x's plus another x is 3x. And we have 3 and negative 6, which is negative 3, is equal to 180 degrees. Now we can solve. We've got minus 3, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. I've got 3x is equal to 183. Last step is to divide each side by 3, and we get x is equal to 61. Okay, last one. Type of angle. We're finding just the value of y. Okay? So I can do this a couple different routes, but if I try to do this angle right here, we have a 7x, and I don't know how to solve with two variables if I don't have another equation. So I'm going to use this straight line. So I'm using the 25 and the 12y plus 35. So setting up my equation, 25 plus 12y plus 35. They form a straight line, so they are supplementary, which means they add to 180 degrees. So I'm going to simplify on here. We've got 25 plus 35, which makes 60. So 25 and 35 is 60, plus 12y equals 180 degrees. Now we've got our normal two-step equation that we're going to solve. If I have 60, I'm going to get rid of it by subtracting 60 from both sides. I'm left with 12y equals 120. Divide each side by 12, and I get y is equal to 10.